I mean, like Christina said, right? I mean, if you got a bunch of socialists in the race or proposing big socialist solutions like Medicare for all, nobody would confuse Mike Bloomberg with the socialist, right? So he's there to represent, at a minimum, capitalism just by being in the race, on the stage, or in the conversation, right?
And he's got the money to be fair, I mean, first of all, Mike Bloomberg probably would never jump into anything without doing adequate polling. So something in the polls has shown him there's a path. If Biden implodes, Bernie and Elizabeth sort of go in a different direction. To your point, if Bernie, Elizabeth, Kamala, Corey, Amy all have to step aside and sort of do their jobs as senators, there is definitely a clear path for Michael Bloomberg. And we know that, from the 3 terms that he was mayor of New York, he doesn't mind paying for the seat that he would like.
Right.
And so if he wants to spend that money, there are ways that he can actually spend money to actually get people on board.
Yeah.
And there's a way that he can feed the nation with policy proposals.
If you do the math, he spent $74 million
on the books.
Back when he was worth $4 billion. Now apparently he's worth $50 billion. Percentage-wise, that is it could be an astounding amount of money he might be willing to commit.
And Errol, I will say he's worth $52 billion. You left off $2 billion, which means he could actually just spend $2 billion and not really think about it and still have $50 billion left.
Right.
And also, let's keep in mind there are a lot of Democrats who are extremely scared of the socialist or pseudo-socialist policies that some of the Democratic candidates for president are talking about. And President Trump is going to be extremely successful in labeling Democrats as socialists. And remember one thing. America has never had a socialist president, but it has had Donald Trump as president for 4 years, so voters might keep the one that they already know.
Yeah, and one has to remember what they said about FDR once upon a time. Thank you all so much. Very good to see you. Before we say goodnight, a reminder, for an impeachment history lesson, you should check out the latest episode of my podcast, You Decide. Former Congresswoman Elizabeth Holtzman reflects on taking part in the impeachment hearings into President Nixon. That's when she was a freshman member of Congress. She also has some advice for lawmakers who are taking part in the current inquiry. You can find the episode wherever you listen to podcasts. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Thanks so much for watching and have a great evening. We'll see you next time inside City Hall.